Hello CFA candidates. In this video, I am going to be showing you a lot of calculator shortcuts which could save a lot of your time in exams. So without further ado, let us get started. And if any of your friends are appearing for CFA exams, please do share the video with them as well. It would save a lot of their time. So let us get started. So before starting any calculation, I would like to ensure that my calculator is set to 9 decimal places. So let's learn how to set our calc to 9 decimal places. The functions are second, dot, 9 and enter. Then I press off, then I switch on my calculator. Now my calculator has been set to 9 decimal places. If you want to check whether your calculator has really been set to 9 decimal places or not, press second and dot. If DEC is equal to 9, that means your calculator has been set to 9 decimal places. Now you do not have to change this, please keep it as it is. So first of all, let us start off with time value of money. I will be solving the 7th question. An investor wants to receive $1,000 at the beginning of each of the next 10 years with the first payment starting today. If the investor can earn 10% interest, what must the investor put into the account today in order to receive this $1,000 cash flow stream? Now, in order to solve any time value of money questions, you need to define 5 keys: N, I by Y, PV, PMT and FV. Those keys which are white in color. Those are your time value of money keys. Now solving this question, what is the time period? I see that the time period is 10 years. So I would be inputting 10 and then I'll press N. What is the goal? What do we have to find here? In this question, we have to find out the present value. What will I invest today such that I will be getting 10 equal payments of $1,000 at the beginning of each of the next 10 years. By the way, before I start this question, I would like to switch my calculator to begin mode, because in this question it is mentioned that the investor will be receiving payments at the beginning of each of the next 10 years. So how to set the calculator to begin mode? The keys are second, PMT, second, enter. Now press second and press CPT. This means your calculator has been set to begin mode. If you solve the 7th question solving the end mode, you will get a wrong answer. So it is crucial to set your calculator to begin mode. If the words BGN are appearing on the calculator screen, this means that the calculator has been set to begin mode. Now let us solve the question. N would be 10. I by Y. I by Y is the rate of interest. Now from this question, what is the rate of interest? It's given in the second line. If the investor can earn 10% interest. So 10 I'll be inputting in I by Y. 10, press the number 10, press I by Y. What amount am I investing today? That is the present value. That is what I need to find out. I want to receive $1,000 at the beginning of each of the next 10 years. Now this $1,000 is a recurring payment which will go in PMT function. So I have to input 1000 and then I have to press the PMT button. Now there is no future value in this question. So in the absence of information, we put 0 as the future value. Press 0 and then press FV. Now we have inputted all the functions. Finally, we have to find out the present value. Press the CPT button and then press the PV key. Before finding out any value, you have to press the CPT button. So I pressed CPT and present value. The calculator is showing an output of 6759. So option A is my answer. I hope you understood this. How to first of all set the calculator to begin mode and then solve the question. Now just ensure that once you set your calculator to begin mode and you finish solving the question, you have to set your calculator back to the end mode. Now how do you do that? The same keys, the same functions which you used to set the calculator to begin mode, the same functions you have to use to set your calculator back to the end mode. So press second PMT, second enter. Now your calculator must be showing END. That means your calculator has been set to the end mode. Press second, press CPT. Now we will be solving the fifth question. A local bank advertises that it will pay interest at the rate of 4.5% compounded monthly on regular savings account. What is the effective rate of interest that the bank is paying on these accounts? So 4.5% compounded monthly means the effective interest rate is going to be something more than 4.5%. Now if you look at the textbook, there are complex formulas given, but in calculator we have shortcuts. So how to solve this question? Press second, press 2. Your calculator will show you NOM, N-O-M. NOM means the rate of interest mentioned in the question, which is 4.5%. Input 4.5, press the enter key, press down arrow, it would be showing you EFF is equal to. Now EFF is the effective rate of interest what we are asked to find out in this question. So we don't know that. Press the down arrow. C upon Y. Now it is asking you the compounding frequency. In this question the compounding frequency is monthly. So there are 12 months in a year. So C by Y would be 12. Then I press the enter key. Now go back to the effective function. Press the up arrow. Now EFF is equal to 0. Finally we have to compute this. Press the CPT button. The answer is 4.59. Option B is the answer. So avoid using the complicated formulas to solve for the effective annual rate. Rather make use of the calculator shortcut. You will get questions to solve the IRR of the project. Now let us solve the 27th question. An investment is purchased at a cost of $7,75,000 and returns $3 lakh at the end of years 2 and 3. At the end of year 4, the investment receives a final payment of $4 lakh. The IRR of this investment is closest to. Now how to solve for this on the calculator? I have something solved from the previous question, so I just press second CPT to get my calculator back to 0. Now how to solve the 27th question? Press CF, press second, press CE by C key. Okay, CFO is equal to 0. This is what is appearing on your calculator screens. Now CFO means the cash outflow at time 0. In the 27th question, what is the cash outflow at time 0? It is $7,75,000. So input 7,75,000 on your calcs. But since it's a cash outflow, you have to input this number in negative. So since you have inputted 7,75,000, press the plus minus key so that the number is negated. Now make sure you don't forget to press enter after every number. So I press enter. Then I want to proceed with the calculation, so I press the down arrow. Now CO1 is what is appearing on my calculator screen, which means the cash flow at time 1. Now in this question there is no cash flow at time 1, so I let it remain as it is and I proceed. Press the down arrow. It is asking you FO1. I proceed. FO1 means the frequency of the number. CO1, the cash flow at time 1 is occurring only once. That is not getting repeated consecutively. So the frequency is going to remain 1. So I input 1, I press enter, I press the down arrow. Now it is asking you CO2, means the cash flow at time 2, which in my question is $3 lakh. So I input 3 lakh. I press the enter key. As I said, I press the down arrow. Now FO2, frequency of the cash flow which occurred at year 2. Now $3 lakh is occurring in year 2 also and year 3 also. It is consecutively occurring. So I will have to input FO2 as 2 because back to back the same cash flows are occurring. So FO2 I input as 2, I press enter, I press the down arrow. Now CO3, now make sure in the cash CO3 you input the cash flow for time 4 because for time 2 and 3 I have already put the frequency FO2 as 2. So in CO3 my year 4 cash flow will appear. Please be very careful about it. So it is $4 lakh. So 4 lakh, enter, down arrow. FO3 is equal to 1 because the cash flow at time 4 is occurring only once. Now I wait here because I have finished inputting all the numbers. What I want to now find out is the IRR. So press the IRR key and it will be appearing as IRR is equal to 0. Finally press the CPT compute button and you will get the answer. The answer is 8.65, option A. So I hope you understood how to calculate the IRR on the calculator. Now you will get questions wherein you would have to solve the net present value of a project. Now how to solve this on the calculator? So we do the 28th sum. A firm is reviewing an investment opportunity that requires an initial cash outlay of $3,36,875 and promises to return the following irregular payments. Payments from year 1 to year 5 are given. If the required rate of return for the firm is 8%, what is the net present value of the investment? Now how to solve this? First of all, some value is appearing on my calculator. I press second CPT to get the calculator back to 0. Now I start solving the question. CF second CE by C. CFO is equal to 0 is what is appearing on my calculator. So what is the initial cash outlay? It is 3,36,875. So I have to input that 336,875. Now as I had said in the previous question, whenever there is a cash outflow, you have to input it in negative. So I press the plus minus key to negate the value. After every number we have to press enter. So I pressed enter and down arrow. CO1 is what is appearing. Now I will input the cash flows at time 1, which is $1 lakh. Enter, down arrow. Is $1 lakh getting consecutively repeated? The answer is no. So frequency will remain 1 only. Enter, down arrow. CO2. CO2 is 82,000 cash flow at time 2. So 82,000, enter, down arrow. It's not getting consecutively repeated, so frequency will remain 1. Down arrow. CO3 76,000, enter, down arrow. FO3 will remain 1, down arrow. CO4, it will be 1,11,000, enter, down arrow. FO4 will remain 1. CO5 will be 1,42,000, enter. Now wait there. I have inputted all the numbers. Now I want to find out the NPV. So press the NPV button. I is equal to 0. Now what does this mean? The calculator is asking you at what rate do you want to find out the NPV, at what rate do you want to discount the cash flows. It's given in the question the required rate of return is 8%. So I input 8 since it's a number. So press enter, press the down arrow. You will be getting NPV is equal to 0. Finally press the CPT compute button. The answer is showing 64,581.75. So option A is the answer. So this is how you calculate the NPV on the calculator. Now you will be getting questions wherein you will be asked to solve the break-even point. Now how to solve that on the calculator? Let us solve the first question. Jayco sells blue ink for $4 a bottle. The ink's variable cost per bottle is $2. Inc. has fixed cost of $10,000. What is Jayco's break-even point in units? Now how to solve this? Since something is appearing on my calculator, I press second CPT. Okay. Now press second and press 6, because above number 6 you can see BRKEVN, that stands for break even. Now after pressing second and 6, the calculator is asking me FC. FC stands for the fixed cost. In this question I can see the fixed costs are $10,000. So input 10,000. After every number press enter, press down arrow, VC. VC stands for the variable cost. Now what is the variable cost in my question? It is $2. So I press 2, enter, down arrow. P. P stands for the selling price. In this question the selling price is $4 per bottle. So I enter 4, enter, down arrow. PFT. PFT stands for profit. Now by definition at break-even point the profit is 0. So I let it remain as it is. Profit is equal to 0. I press the down arrow. Q. Q stands for the quantity. Now this is what I have to find out. So press the compute button CPT. The calculator is showing an answer of 5,000. So option B is the answer. I hope you understood this. Now let us look at the 7th question. How to solve this? Jayco has a division that makes red ink for the accounting industry. The unit has fixed costs of $10,000 per month and is expected to sell 40,000 bottles of ink per month. If the variable cost per bottle is $2, what price must the division charge in order to break even? Now here I have to find out the selling price in order for Jayco to break even. So how to solve it on the calculator? Now since I have already solved a break even question, my calculator has the memory stored. First of all I need to clear the memory in order to be able to solve a new question. Now how do I clear the memory? Press second, press 6. Press second again, press CE by C. Now FC is appearing as 0, means you have cleared the memory. Now let us proceed. In the 7th question, the fixed cost is $10,000. So I input FC as $10,000, press enter, press the down arrow. Variable cost is $2, so VC 2, enter, down arrow. P. P is the selling price. Now this is what I have to find out in the question. So as of now I don't do anything about it. I just proceed, press the down arrow. PFT. Now in this question they are asking you the selling price in order to break even. By definition at break even, as I already discussed, the profit is 0. So I let it remain as it is. I press the down arrow. Quantity. Now in this question the firm is expected to sell 40,000 bottles of ink. So quantity of sales is 40,000. So input 40,000, press the enter key. Now we want to find out the selling price. Press the up arrow. I come to profit. Again press the up arrow. I come to price is equal to 0. Now press the compute button because I have arrived at the selling price function CPT. I am getting an answer of 2.25. Option A is the answer. So this can save you a lot of time in the exam if you know the calculator shortcuts. Now let us learn how to calculate the depreciation by using calculator shortcut. So for that we look at the 10th question. A company acquires an intangible asset for $1 lakh and expects it to have a value of $20,000 at the end of its 5-year useful life. If the company amortizes the asset using the double declining balance method, amortization expense in year 4 of the asset's useful life is closest to. Now let us solve. Press the second key, press 4 number, that is for the depreciation function. Now I want to solve using the double declining balance method. If you press second and 4 SL, straight line method must be appearing on your calculator, but this question pertains to the double declining balance method. So I'll have to press second and enter. SYD is something that is appearing on my calculator. I want DDB, double declining balance. So I again press second enter. DB, declining balance. Okay. Now by default it is appearing 200, means in double declining balance you charge twice the amount of depreciation. So let it remain as it is. Press the down arrow. LIF, the calculator is asking you for the useful life. In this question, the useful life of the asset, as you can see in the second line, is 5 years. So input 5, press the enter key, press down arrow to proceed. MO1, MO1 stands for first month. So let it remain as it is. CST stands for the cost of the asset, which is $1 lakh in my question. $1 lakh, enter, down arrow. SAL stands for the salvage value. The salvage value is $20,000 at the end of 5-year useful life. So I input $20,000, enter, down arrow. Down arrow. YR stands for year. Now they are asking me the depreciation expense, the amortization expense for year 4. So I'll have to input 4 in YR. Input 4, press enter key, press the down arrow. DEP, you are getting your answer, depreciation is equal to 1600. So the answer is option A. Now if the same question you wanted to solve using the straight line method, how you would have done it? Press second CPT to come back to 0. Press second 4. Now since I had set my calculator to declining balance method, I need to set it back to the straight line method. Press second enter. DBX is what is appearing. I don't want that. Press second enter again. SL is what is appearing. Now I want that. Press the down arrow. Since I had already solved for depreciation previously, the values are still appearing on my calculator. How do I clear the memory? Press second, press CE by C. So now the memory is cleared. And again SL is appearing on my calculator. Press the down arrow. LIF. Now what is the useful life? 5. Press 5, press enter, press the down arrow. MO1, first month, okay, press the down arrow. CST stands for the cost, 1 lakh, enter, down arrow. Salvage value is 20,000, enter, down arrow. We want to find out the amortization expense in the 4th year. So year 4, enter, down arrow. Depreciation is 16,000. Now let us learn how to calculate the standard deviation. We will be solving the 15th question. I have some values. I have 10 values in my question. I want to calculate the sample standard deviation. How do I do that? Using the calculator shortcut. Press second, press 7. So x01 is what is appearing on my calculator. So x01 stands for the value at the end of first year, which is 11. Input 11, enter, down arrow. If y01 is appearing, ignore that. We do not need that as of now. Press the down arrow. x02, 12.5, enter, down arrow. y02, ignore, down arrow. Like that, keep inputting till x10. Now I have inputted all the numbers till x10. I am sure you have done too. Now after inputting all the desired numbers, press second and press 8. LIN must be appearing on your calculator, the words LIN. If the words LIN are not appearing on your calculator, keep pressing second and enter until the time the words LIN appear. So since LIN is already appearing on my calculator, I press the down arrow. I am getting n is equal to 10, means the calculator is telling me you have inputted 10 values. Press the down arrow, x bar is the mean of the numbers which I have inputted. Press the down arrow, SX stands for sample standard deviation. It's appearing as 9.09. That is what we wanted to find out. So the answer is option C, 9.09, rounding it off 9.1%. Now in this question, if they would have asked you to find out the population standard deviation, you would have pressed down arrow again, and sigma x is appearing on your calculator. That stands for your population standard deviation, the answer of which is 8.63. I hope you understood how to calculate the sample standard deviation as well as the population standard deviation in the question. Let us learn how to calculate the geometric mean on your calculator. Let us solve the fourth question. A company reports its past 6 years earning growth at 10%, 14%, 12%, 10%, negative 10% and 12%. The company's average compound annual growth rate of earning is closest to. Now first of all, how to calculate the CAGR using the geometric mean method. I just jot down these values 10, 14, 12. Now geometric mean would be calculated using 1.1 into 1.14 into 1.12 into 1.1 into 0.9 due to negative 10% returns into 1.12. Now there are 6 values, so I'll have to take the 6th root. So first of all, whatever is there in the under root sign, I'll have to solve for that. So let us do 1.1 into 1.14 into 1.12 into 1.1 into 0.9 into 1.12 is equal to, now I get some value. I let the value remain as it is. So I'm getting a value of 1.557287.424. Now I have to take the 6th root, which means 1.557287.424 to the power 1/6. Now how to solve this thing on the calculator? Now this value is already appearing on my calculator. I now press the y to the power x key, the key above the number 9. Then I press the 6 number key. Since I want to take reciprocal of 6, I press 1 upon x key. Now press is equal to key. Now during geometric mean calculation, finally press -1 into 100 after finding out the desired root. -1 is equal to into 100 is equal to 7.66 is what we are getting. So the answer is option A, rounding it off 7.7%. So I hope you know how to calculate the geometric mean using the calculator shortcut. 56th question. 56th question is helpful for explaining how to use the storage function. Now let me tell you, the storage function is the most handy function on your calculator. Let us learn how. An investor has a $12,000 portfolio consisting of $7,000 in stock P with an expected return of 20% and $5,000 in stock Q with an expected return of 10%. What is that investor's expected return on the portfolio? Okay, the investor has invested how much? He has invested $12,000 in stock P and stock Q. How much has he invested in stock P? The answer is $7,000. So the balance $5,000 is invested in stock Q. What percentage of 12,000 is invested in stock P? So it is 7,000 upon 12,000, which is 0.5833. So approximately 58.33% of the investor's wealth is concentrated in stock P. So balance 41.67% of the investor's wealth is concentrated in stock Q. How much returns does stock P give? Stock P gives a return of 20%, whereas stock Q gives returns of 10%. And these are the weights. Now to find out the portfolio expected return, I simply need to multiply the returns with the respective weights. So let us see how. 20 into 58.33, then press the percentage button, press is equal to. Store it in 1, store 1. So now this value is stored in my number 1 key. Then I do 10 into 41.67% is equal to. Now this value needs to be stored in 2 number key. So press store and press 2. Now I need to add up both these values. Press RCL1, RCL stands for recall, plus RCL2. Now press is equal to. 15.83 is what I am getting. I used this using the I calculated this using the storage function. Now let us see if our answer matches. It certainly does. The answer is option A, 15.8%. Now after using every function, please make sure that you clear the memory. Now how to clear the memory? It is the same for all. First of all, go to that function, then press second CE by C. So now I want to clear the storage function, press second, press 0. Why 0? Because see the words above 0, MEM, M stands for memory. So I have used the memory function, right? Now press second and then press CE upon C. So I have been able to clear the storage. Switch off your calculator for a moment, switch it on, press RCL, press 1. It is appearing as 0, means your storage function has been cleared. Please make it a habit to clear the memory after solving every question. Now let us learn how to calculate the correlation. So to calculate correlation, I again have a calculator shortcut wherein I would need to input all the values of x and y. Press second, press 7. Now since I had already solved the second 7 function in one of my previous questions, you see the values are still appearing. I need to clear the memory. Press second, press CE upon C so that my memory gets cleared. Now I had deliberately not cleared my memory because I wanted to show you that how the memory still remains on your calculator after solving for the questions. So it's a good habit to clear the memory. X01. So I input 10, press enter, press down arrow. In Y01 I input 12, press 12, enter, down arrow. Like that, keep inputting all the numbers till X05 and Y05 respectively. So X02 would be -3. Now after you have inputted all the numbers till Y05, wait there, press second, press 8 number key. LIN should be appearing on your calculator. If not, keep pressing second and enter until the time you get to LIN. Press the down arrow. Keep pressing the down arrow until you come to the function R. Now R is equal to correlation between X and Y, which is appearing as 0.735. So the answer is the correlation between X and Y is 0.735. If they ask you in the question to find out the covariance between X and Y, how to do that? Now unfortunately we don't have any calculator shortcut which directly tells us the covariance value. So see how to calculate the covariance. Correlation between X and Y is equal to covariance between X and Y upon standard deviation of X into standard deviation of Y. This is as per the formula. Now solving algebraically, covariance between X and Y would be correlation between X and Y into the standard deviation of X into standard deviation of Y, which will give me the covariance between X and Y. Correlation between X and Y we already found out using the calculator shortcut. Standard deviation of X you would get using the calculator shortcut. Standard deviation of Y as well you would get using the calculator shortcut. Store all three values in 1, 2 and 3 number keys respectively, and finally multiply the three values, you would get the covariance. Now I am already on the correlation. So what I do is I store it in my 1 number key, press store 1. Now I need to store the standard deviation of X and Y also. So I press the up arrow until I get to sigma Y. Sigma Y is appearing as 3.44. Store it in your 2 number key, store 2, press up arrow. Sigma X is appearing as 7.08. Store it in 3 number key. Now I have been able to store all the three values. Simply multiply RCL1 into RCL2 into RCL3 is equal to 7.92 is what I am getting. That is nothing but the covariance between X and Y. So I hope you understood how to calculate the covariance as well using the calculator shortcut keys. Now I am solving question number 3. I am teaching you how to solve for the clean price and dirty price using the calculator shortcuts. Now again, this is one of the most important functions because it will save you a lot of time. But before solving this question, I need to solve for a few other things. Let us see what. Press second, press dot, format key. Press down arrow, DEG is what would appear on your Calc screens. Press the down arrow again. US is what would appear on your calculator screens. Now by default your calculator is set to month, date and year format. Now we are not comfortable using that format, so we switch it to date, month and year format. Press second and enter. Press second, enter. So now you would be getting the date, month and year format. Okay. Press second, press CPT to get the calculator back to 0. Now we can solve question number 3. A 6% coupon bond pays interest each year on January 15 and July 15 and matures on July 15, 2021. Its yield to maturity is 5% and it uses an actual by actual day count convention. On October 3, 2020, the bond's full price per 100 par value is closest to. Okay. Now first of all, I need to find out the full price, which is also called as dirty price. Press second, press 9. SDT is what must be appearing on your calculator. SDT stands for settlement date. Now from the question, tell me what is the settlement date. It is 3rd of October 2020. So I need to input that in my calculator. Now how to input 3rd October? You have to press 3.1020. Now 3 stands for 3rd October, 10 stands for October month and 20 stands for the year. Now press these exact same keys. After that, press the enter button. 3.1020, enter. Now it must be appearing 3rd October 2020 properly on your calculator. Press the down arrow. CPN. CPN means the coupon. Let us see in the question what was the coupon. It is 6%. So I input 6, enter, down arrow. It is asking me RDT. RDT stands for the redemption date. The redemption date means the maturity date. The bond matures on 15th July 2021. So I already taught you how to enter the date in your calculator. So 15th July 2021 would be 15.0721. So input that 15.0721, press the enter key. The calculator has taken that input. Press the down arrow. RV. RV means the redemption value. Now always take it as 100 only. Even if in your question the RV is 1000, still take it as 100. So I have taken RV as 100, press enter, press down arrow. In your question, they are telling you the day count convention used is actual by actual. Now on my calculator, act is appearing. If on your calculator to act is appearing, well and good. But if on your calculator 360 is appearing, then press second enter to get it back to act. Press the down arrow. 2 upon y is what is appearing on my calculator. Now what is 2 upon y? 2 upon y means the bond is paying interest on a semi-annual basis. In our question, it is in fact paying interest on a semi-annual basis. So let 2 upon y remain as it is. Had the bond been paying interest on an annual basis, I would have pressed second and then the enter key to get it to 1 upon y. But since it is already semi-annual, I let it remain as it is. Press the down arrow. YLD. YLD means the yield to maturity. In my question, it is 5%. Press 5, press enter, press the down arrow. PRI. PRI means the flat price of the bond. Press compute. 100.75 is what I am getting as the flat price of the bond. But in my question, they have asked me the full price of the bond. The full price of the bond includes the accrued interest component as well. So what I do is, I have already got the flat price. I press store, I press 1 number key. I have stored this value in my 1 number key. Press the down arrow. I am getting AI. AI stands for accrued interest. It's 1.30. I store it in my 2 number key. Store 2. Now I have to add up both the values, the flat price and the accrued interest. So what I do is press RCL1 plus RCL2 is equal to. So the answer which I am finally getting is 102.05. Option B. So we were able to save so much of our time to calculate such questions. Now we learn some small miscellaneous functions. If you want to compute the number of days between two dates, how do you do that? For example, I give you two dates, 21st March and 29th April. I want to find out how many days are there in between these two dates. How to compute? Press second, press 1 number key. It is asking you dt1 is equal to. So I input 21st March and you can assume any year, say 2022. So 21.0322. 21.0322, enter, down arrow. dt2 means date 2, 29th April 2022. So input 29.0422. Press the enter key. Press down arrow. dBd is what? is appearing on your calculator screens. Now DBD stands for days between dates. Press CPT button. 39 is what you are getting. So there are 39 days in between the two dates, 21st March and 29th April. Okay. Now let us learn how to calculate permutations and combinations on your calculator. We do the 69th question. A portfolio manager wants to eliminate 4 stocks from a portfolio that consists of 6 stocks. How many ways can the 4 stocks be sold when the order of the sales is important? Now remember, whenever the order is important, we use the permutation function. So essentially in this question, it would be 6p4. Now how to solve for 6p4 on the calculator? Press 6, press second, press the minus key, because if you see above the minus key, there is NPR function, which is the permutation function. And then press 4. Press is equal to 360 is what is appearing on your calculator screens. So the answer is option B. Now assume for a minute that the order of sales were not important. So out of 6 stocks, I had to sell 4 stocks such that order would not have been important. In that case, I would have to use the combination function. So it would have been 6C4. Now how to solve for 6C4? Press 6, press second, press plus, press 4, press is equal to. So the answer is 15. So I hope you understood how to use the permutation and combination function as well on your calculators. Before your exams, there are chances that they might ask you to reset your calculator. How to reset your calculator? Switch off your calculators for a moment, switch it on, press second, press plus minus key, which is the reset function, press enter. Now my calculator has been reset. Your 9 decimal places have come back to 2 decimal places. The date format, which was earlier in month, date and year, and we switched it back to date, month, year, has again gone back to month, date, year format. Now in this entire video, I have taught you how to set your calculator to 9 decimal places, how to change the date format from month, date, year to date, month, year. So I hope after resetting the calculator, you would be able to get your calculator back to the desired mode. I hope you found this video useful. I have shown you a lot of calculator shortcuts which would be very handy for you during your exams, and it would save a lot of your crucial time. If you found this video useful, please do not forget to share it with a friend. He or she might also find it very useful. Thank you so much for watching the video. Stay tuned. In case if you have any queries pertaining to your exams, calculator usage, please feel free to get in touch with us on the given number. We would be more than happy to assist you. Thank you so much for watching the video once again.